There's a 1% difference between a good and great website. It's the micro interactions, like the animation of an icon on hover. But how do you actually do this in Framer? And is it complex? Well, you're in luck because today I'm going to show you how you can animate icons in Framer easily. Let's go. Okay, so here we are inside of Framer, and as you can see, I have this icon set up here, and essentially this icon, it just has a bunch of paths built into it. But as you can tell, they're not actually a stroke in Framer. So in order for us to animate this properly, we actually want to rebuild this icon here so we can actually use a stroke instead of these individual paths here, which as you can see, there's a fill color, but there's actually no stroke. So we actually need to enable it so it's got a stroke. And then essentially with this, we can animate the stroke in Framer, which is essentially going to animate our icon. And we can do a few other things with effects as well to really make this icon come to life. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to press on vector at the top here, or O on our keyboard to draw a new oval. And this will act as the frame for our bowl. Now let's keep this at a good size. Let's just set it to be 32 pixels for now. And we'll get rid of this fill color and we'll set this as a width. Now let's just make this white for the moment. And let's set the width to be, say, 2 pixels. And we'll set the alignment to be inside. Now, actually, let's go a little bit thicker on the width here. Now, let's actually go ahead, right click this, and I'm going to go create vector set. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like we can see the icon, so that's because we're actually using our light mode here. So actually, let's just set the stroke color of this to be black so we can actually see what's going on. And then let's paste in the original icon that we're trying to duplicate here. And let's kind of just like size this down and let's put it inside our vector shape here. We'll center that just so we can see what we're doing, so we can try to replicate this at least to something similar. And essentially the goal is to use stroke where possible. So if I kind of look at this icon here, we kind of have a line running here, we have a line running here, and we have another line running here. So what I could actually do is, say if we make this a red, then drop down the opacity so I can see the icon underneath. I can press P on my keyboard, and this is how we can use the pen tool in Framer. And I can essentially select my 2 points. And then if I hold and drag, I can select the points in between. So let's try to get that right. And we'll set the width here to be 3 as well. And let's do the same with the other sides here. So we'll go here, set another point over here, and then click and drag to get the point between. Set the width to be 3, and one more. Okay, and we'll also set the width of that to be 3 pixels too. Now let's get rid of that original icon, and then let's also set these to be black so we can see what our image looks like. So now that we've created our icon here, if I go back to my homepage here, go to my assets tab, you'll see that we can drag in that vector icon at any time, and I can scale this up and it looks like a really clean icon. Now, because we actually created everything as paths as strokes, it means we can actually animate this. So when I select, say, a stroke, so say if we select the outside of this bowl here, go to effects, we can actually set an effect for a stroke, and then we can set the length, the gap, the offset, whether we want it to loop or not, or even a transition. So for example, if we just preview this, you'll notice that that path will now animate in, which is pretty cool. Now that was a little bit slow for me, so I'm going to click into transition, and we're actually going to set the time here to be 1, and we're going to set it so it's actually going to speed up at the start and then slow down towards the end, which is what this little ease thing here is. So you'll notice it starts really quickly and then it slows down at the end. Now we can also animate these other points here. So this point here, we can do something similar. So we actually might set the stroke here, and then we'll change the transition. Now we actually might want to wait half a second before it actually starts. So you'll notice that it only kind of starts once this circle completes itself first. Now, again, it's coming in just a little bit too slow. So we might actually want to set the delay to be a little less. And let's also change the speed. So let's actually make it only take 0.5 seconds to come in. Nice, that's a little bit better. And I think something similar where we actually change the ease to be quite quick at the start and then it slows down over time. That's good. Now it's coming in just a little bit too quick. Welcome to the world of animation. We have to tweak things to get things right. All right, we're getting somewhere pretty close now. Now what I could do is actually just copy this effect here and I could paste it on both the other paths here. So I'll paste that effect here and let's preview that. All right, looks pretty good. And now we just probably want to add a slight offset to the other effects so they come in at slightly different times. So this might come in 0.05 seconds later, and this one might be the same as well. So if we set this to 0.5 and we preview this, and there you can see we get this nice sort of animation that's coming in. Now, so I can preview this icon on my dark mode. I'm actually going to set up a variable for the color here. So I'm going to select just one of my paths here. I'm going to go down to the color stroke, and I'm going to create that as a variable, and we'll just set this to be color. And I'm going to do the same on all of our strokes here. So we'll set that variable to be color and so on. So now I can actually set the color of this icon to be whatever I want on any instance. So for example, when I drag it in here, we change the color. Now you can see we can actually have a little bit more control over our icon. And then when I preview this, you'll see we get that nice sort of animation effect coming in. Now, I might actually change the width of this too. So I think 3 pixels in width is a little bit too much. So if I select them all, then bring that down to say 2, that might look a little bit nicer and a little bit more like the original icon. Okay, so it looks pretty good to me. So now let's actually replace our original icon here. So we'll get rid of that and then we'll size this one down as well. So we'll set it to be say 36 pixels. And let's reduce that gap ever so slightly on this button. So this is good. And as you can tell, we've got a animated icon. But what I actually want to do is go a little bit further with this. And this is where we can use a little bit of component magic and some effects in Framer to get a lot more out of this icon. So firstly, you'll notice that I can't actually set a way to make it that when I hover on this icon, that it actually plays that animation. Well, this is where components can come in handy. So what we're actually going to do is go back into this vector set here, and we're going to rename this vector, and we're going to call this active. Now, what we're actually going to do is duplicate this icon here, and we're going to call this one static. And what I'm going to do is select all the paths here, and I'm actually going to get rid, so remove of all those effects. So now when I go back to my page here, you will notice I can either set the icon to be the active icon or the static icon. So with the static icon applied, you'll notice that there's no actual effect that's being played. But if I switch this to be to the active icon, you'll notice that that animation is now playing. So this is how we can actually set things up to create an interaction. So on hover, we actually switch between these. And this is where components come into play. So I'm going to take this icon here. I'm going to add a frame around it. So we'll wrap it inside its own frame and we'll set the width and height to be auto. And then we're actually going to right click this frame and we'll create this as a component, which will be called our icon holder. Now inside of here, this is essentially where we can get things working. So we'll set the initial variant here to have the static icon. So no effects playing. And then what we'll do inside the component is add a hover state. And we'll make it that on hover, we're actually going to switch this icon to be to the active icon, which holds our animation. So now, when I actually preview this, you'll notice this is our static icon, but when I actually hover on this, it actually is going to change to that active state. And that's how we can actually create this really nice animation on hover for our icon here. Now, we can always go a step further because this is a component and we can do a lot more. So for example, maybe when I actually hover on this component itself, we might actually want the ball to rotate. So I could add an effect here and we could add a loop effect and let's make it, it's going to rotate 360 degrees and it's just going to keep on doing that. So you'll notice that it's just going to rotate 360 degrees. So I need to set it to be on hover. And then we'll set the rotate to be 360 degrees. So then when I preview this, hover, we kind of get a rotation happening here as well as that effect playing on the icon. Now, obviously, there's a little bit going on, so we might actually want to say set a delay on this. So what I'll do is go into transition here. We'll set the delay to be 0.5 seconds, and then let's preview that. So now it should actually load in and then do a bit of a spin at the end. Now that still feels a little bit too quick, so let's actually change this to firstly an ease. So we'll make it kind of go slow at the start and then slow at the end as well. And then we'll also set the duration to be 1 second. So let's give that a shot. Nice. So now, as you can tell, we have this really nice custom icon in Framer that's just going to add a little bit more magic to your Framer site. And that's how you animate icons in Framer. As you can tell, you can go quite powerful with this and quite far as well. But the trick, especially with icons, is you want to make sure you've got a stroke path on your icon so you can actually animate with an effect with that. But if you enjoyed this Framer tutorial and you want more videos just like it, consider subscribing to the channel because we're putting out new Framer tutorials every single week this year. And if you are interested in mastering Framer, like truly mastering it, feel free to check out my Ultimate Framer Masterclass, which is my A to Z course on mastering Framer. But until next time, I'll catch you later.